Okay, back on Euro USD, PA number 7, lucky number 7. Look at that. Look at that trade. Man, that's lucky. Yeah, you would think, but didn't work out like that. It almost did. Man, it was close. But so I've been watching Euro USD and been wanting this to break up to these highs. Looking at the bigger picture. I mean, I'll jump up to you can even jump up to the 4-hour and see some things. So we were up here, we broke this high here on the 4-hour, we pulled back, we couldn't go any lower, got nice aggressive push up, couldn't go any lower, is rolling over, and was looking to take this up to these highs, possibly, you know, under this guy, where this guy started. It's just kind of a big zone here of nobody. Once we get past this guy who pushed down, there's just this open zone of nobody, room to travel, and that's essentially what it did, with a big rejection on the 4-hour. So back to my 15 minutes. So I was confident that this trade was going to go up, especially with the interest rate news. Yeah, Euro interest rate news in the New York session. There was some other news. Let me look real quick. Yeah, so there was at 7:15 my time, which was right there, right after I got in. There's interest rate decision news for Euro, and then shortly after that was jobless claims for U.S. Lots of news for the U.S. right after that, but the two big ones were interest rates for Euro and initial jobless claims. So I saw this after Asia, London, and then New York was coming in. London actually broke above this range. Yes, it did not take out the session. It broke above this range. This looks like a set 1, set 2 anticipation style trade, where these guys made their lows, got taken out, V formation, test, and break, and then we're holding in here to see if what this guy was doing. This guy couldn't do very much and was rolling over on a lower time frame. And on that lower time frame, right here, as this was coming back, rolling over, this last guy who attempted to make the lower low couldn't, and got trapped down in there. And so as this came up for a V formation, I was thinking that any little test right before the news I was going to take with my stops fairly well below this. I knew news can make stuff go, the spreads go wild. So I instead of putting it real close, I put it a little bit further, which I could have. If I put it under these last guys who made the push up, which probably would have been ideal for this, given all the news, I would have been free and clear. But I did not, so I got stopped out as the news came in. It pushed up, tricked me, and then came down really fast. And then as that was rejecting, I was thinking, okay, this was their little dash of evil. They came down and got anybody out like me that was in early. And then as this rejected back, I put in my orders and got back in right here on this tail. But what I did, very silly, is I had in my mind that this was a buy. Everything pointed to buy. We had the volumes, we had the fundamentals, we had the opposite party, we had the big boy breaches. We had everything pretty much except a session break. So when this pushed up for the first time, I thought, oh, we even have my session break. I'm going to move my stops to break even. And here we go for a nice 5.66 R trade. Woohoo. Let's do this thing. Knowing that I should not have moved my stops to break even until this maybe pulled back a little bit and then went. And then, like I said, there was some news right around here, 7:30, 7:45. Oh, 7:45, it had a ECB press conference, Euro Central Bank, I believe, a press conference, and that drove the price down before it drove back up very fast, and I just got to watch it stop me out and roll over and go to a little bit above my projected take profit. So this one really sucked because I actually made a loss on it, instead of 5.66 R. Made a loss on it. 1 R loss. But a few things to note. A little bit wider stop loss with news. And then anticipate it going a little crazy and coming back to make everybody think it's a sell. Because really, if you think about it, this rejected back into the range, back into the session. So people are thinking this was a faker and maybe jumping in on the sells even more. But they got their sellers and they got their orders filled, and then it blasted up with all the demand coming in. So that was it for that. I know some people in the elite community, which I'm not in yet, but we're taking these trades, and hopefully they managed to make some good profits. Maybe they anticipated some of this stuff. But next time we'll do some anticipating, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so looking forward to more trades. That's the end of the week. So just a quick total. Unfortunately, out of the past 7 trades I've taken in the past week and a half, I am at a loss, 10% account loss. Most of them are losses. One was a fairly big loss. My very first trade that I got back into, it was like 5% loss. So there's half of all of that. So all the trades after that were less and less and less losses, which were good. So total 10% account loss sucks, but at least it wasn't the whole thing. I still have some capital to trade with, and we'll get that back up. We'll make it, instead of going 10% loss, how about we double it and go 20% gains next week? Let's see if we can do that. I bet we can if I just focus and take my time. So, all right, that's it for that, and look forward to posting much more trades, and here we go.